morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching The Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. And sitting next to Bubba is Joe. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Doing, Steve.
Now, you are watching The Inside Scoop. As we thank you once again for watching us. As Father's Day is this weekend, so we wish you fathers out there a happy Father's Day. And I think grandfathers celebrate it as well. How about priest?
Too. I don't think so.
No.
Oh no.
Okay. Because you know how you say.
See, my dad's in heaven, so.
Same here.
Same here. The three of our fathers are in heaven. I wonder if they're hosting a talk show up in heaven. It'll be interesting. All right, now we're going to talk about wrestling as usual, but before we get to the wrestling, the governor of Massachusetts, as I mentioned prior to tonight's taping, about a minute before we were due to go on, the governor is entering, well, actually you might have to enter your name. I'm not sure if you're automatically entered, but if you're fully vaccinated, you are going to have a chance to win $1 million from the Massachusetts state government.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 4 drawings in July to August.
And so someone told me, one of my co-workers told me, you have to go online and register your name and with proof of fully vaccinations, as both vaccinations, unless you got the Johnson & Johnson, which is only 1 dose. Now, you two got fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
Yes.
This Sunday, I'm going to be fully vaccinated. So I'm going to get my second shot of the Pfizer. And that's going to take place on Father's Day. So I'm probably going to see other guys there at their pharmacy, and they're probably going to be fathers. They're getting their shots. Now, I am so happy to have read the low amount of cases of the coronavirus that exists today.
I think there was 35 yesterday. New ones, that was it? 35.
Yeah. Compared to months ago and a year ago. And each one of us knows someone who passed away from the coronavirus.
Yeah, we all know Jake Bredesen,
Yes.
God rest his soul.
And Kamala, the wrestler, passed away from the coronavirus.
Little known fact, Marvelous Marvin Hagler took his second vaccine shot, but he died 10 days afterwards. They're not sure if it contributed to his death or not, but they never really talked about it or discussed it.
The side effects that I got was a sore arm and a minor headache. But I guess the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, a lot of people got blood clots from that. One of my former co-workers recently got a blood clot in his lungs, and he thinks it's from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So I know about a month or two ago they pooed their Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but they end up reinstating it. But I wonder how many more people, how many other people, let me rephrase my words, how many other people got like side effects like blood clots and...
I'm not sure, I didn't read up on that too much.
Okay, let's get to wrestling, Joe.
Well, first, before we get to wrestling, Steve, why don't we mention a couple of birthdays and deaths? We only have a couple of deaths mentioned this week. Thank God. There was another one, I can't think of the person's name, and it's going to bug me that we don't have on our list. I apologize to that person.
Person I don't know. Let's see. We got Clarence Williams III from the TV show Mod Squad.
Yep. That was Link, right?
Yep. He joined one of his co-stars from earlier this year.
Yep.
And Superman's 1 and 2 star Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty was also in Stroker Ace. I believe he was in that movie with Burt Reynolds.
He also did the TV show Homicide: Life on the Street.
Some birthdays I know of. Of course, I had mine last Sunday. I turned big 55. I qualify for 55 plus communities now. I want to live there. As I was joking with telling all my friends. I also share a birthday with Mick Foley's. Mick Foley had a birthday last week. And early this week on the 13th, Virgil used to be the bodyguard of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, had a birthday. It's always good. Oh, I think after our last show, Seth Rollins had a birthday.
Actually, his was at the end of May.
Okay.
Actually, I got a couple of birthdays of my own to mention. A couple belated birthdays from this past Monday, my aunt and my mother.
Oh, happy birthday to your aunt and your mom.
I take it they're twins.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, sorry, as you were discussing when we were going to go to wrestling, but I wanted to just get the birthday and death wishes in.
The WWE has a pay-per-view coming up on Hell in a Cell. I believe it's this Sunday, Father's Day.
Yep.
Since our last episode, Joe, what new matches were announced?
Let's see. Well, the updated one since the Lashley Drew match has become a Hell in a Cell match.
Okay.
Okay, we got Harry took the women's title over Raw. We got the Universal title, which is in a Hell in a Cell, with Roman against Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Roman on that match, only because on YouTube they were talking about a future match between Roman and John Cena.
I've heard The Rock, too, maybe involved with that, but they're not sure yet. It's still which one going to come out of semi-retirement and challenge him for it. That should be at SummerSlam.
Because of those plans, I'm going to stick with Roman as my prediction.
I agree with Roman Reigns, too.
Who you picked to win, Joe?
And how about the Raw Women's title match? We didn't mention that.
We mentioned that one last show.
Oh, mention it again. Might as well mention it.
The Raw Women's title, Rhea Ripley against Charlotte.
Charlotte, that should be a great match. I personally think that Rhea was going to win that match. I think Nikki Cross gets involved in that somehow and costs Charlotte Flair.
Because Nikki Cross has been on a winning streak.
Well, 2-minute matches and then she beat Charlotte Flair. It's not fluky last week. I don't know, but.
We got Alexa against Shayna Baszler.
That could be an interesting match. I mean, Alexa looked really tough this past week wrestling. Looked a good match against Nia Jax, but I think Lily gets involved with that. The character of Doll Lily and the all the dark stuff that happened with Alexa Bliss, and I think Shayna Baszler wins that match though at the end somehow. I don't know how, but she's gonna win the match.
We got SmackDown Women's title, Bianca Belair against Bayley.
That could be a match. A match could actually steal the show. Those two girls can really wrestle together.
I'm going to go with Bianca Belair.
Now, what's the second Hell in a Cell match? Is it going to be Bianca and Bayley?
No, it's the two big titles from both shows.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Ray's going to be going against Roman at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray's a great athlete, but he's not. He's a little bit past his prime for Roman Reigns, in my opinion.
WWE announced that they were going to have a live audience at each taping. Now, when does that start?
Sometime next month.
I think it's July 24th in Houston. It's the first one. I think I saw it online. Saw some of the matches. Well, it's taken us this long to mention. A big return. As I mentioned to both of you, if you both didn't see it, NXT last night. I let you know by text last night. The woodwork, Steven Regal is getting ready to retire as the GM, and how come Samoa Joe to be his new enforcer? Regal offered him the position of GM. He's not want it, but I can be an enforcer. And he basically told Karrion Kross to get out of the ring. And Karrion Kross listened to him.
Former Raw commentator.
He's a great wrestler. I know he's well respected in the background. He's well respected in the locker room. And I'm glad to see WWE hire him back. He's a good personality. He's a good wrestler. He's a strong man, and he's well respected. Glad to see he's back on the main roster. He's back, but he's working for NXT.
When he was part of TNA, he was one of my favorite wrestlers from TNA.
Well, I actually wore my ROH shirt because he was also in ROH for a great amount of time. Thinking about him then. I watched the NXT In Your House this past Sunday. That was very, very good. Exceptional wrestling. Folks who don't watch NXT, you should be watching it. Some good wrestling on Tuesday nights. We have a new $1 million champion, LA Knights, who last night on NXT, which is Tuesday, we tape this, folks, on Wednesday, so attacked Ted DiBiase after he gave him the $1 million belt and he attacked him.
Wasn't that a ladder match?
Yes.
For that title? Yeah.
Very, very good match. Excellent match. And then the 5-way dance was Karrion Kross against Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. That was a great wrestling match. That really was a really good wrestling match at the end. And Karrion Kross kept his title. He actually choked out Kyle O'Reilly. All in all, good wrestling there.
Yeah.
Their champion, Michelle Gonzalez, the female champion, wrestled Ember Moon. That was a good wrestling match, and Gonzalez kept her title.
I haven't seen her in a long time, Amber.
Well, she's in NXT. That's why. She was out for a while. She had hurt her Achilles tendon, but she came back like 4 or 5 months ahead of schedule. It's kind of shocking. But if you don't get a chance, I know sometimes we're busy, but try to get a chance to watch on Tuesday nights. If you're not watching AACS, to watch NXT. It's really, really good wrestling. You see a lot of these stars will come up to WWE. I mean, you'll see a great match. You'll see some local talent down there. As mentioned before, last show we had Christian Casanova had a match a week ago with Kushida. Goes by his new name. I forget his new name. I shouldn't, but I do. Oh, something Hayes. I don't know why they do that, but Bronson Reed and the tag champions beat Phantasmo something, whatever. I don't know. But that was also said. It was great wrestling. I think it was 5 or 6 matches. It was very, very good. Something definitely to look into.
Father's Day is this Sunday. WWE has the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Now, for those of you who have their, what's that app? Peacock.
Yep,
can watch it for free. And for people who don't have the Peacock app, do you know how much they charge you nowadays for a WWE pay-per-view?
I saw them $34.99, but then again, we had WrestleMania. That was like $69.99.
Yeah.
I saw $54.99 for some of these things on regular cable. What? I get the Peacock off my computer. It's like $5. You can't go wrong. It does freeze up. It sticks. It's kind of hard. Sometimes it's hard to watch. But for $5, it's worth it to me.
We got Peacock at my house. I end up downloading videos from Peacock, and I'm so impressed on, well, should I use the word happy, that they have what they have to offer as in wrestling videos and stuff. Because I'm able to watch some pay-per-views from years ago that I could download from the Peacock. And for you wrestling fans out there who perhaps have a favorite pay-per-view from the past or missed the pay-per-view from the past that you want to see, and if you have Peacock, check it out, because you might be able to find their pay-per-view, or even a Monday Night Raw or a Monday Nitro or a SmackDown episode that you want to watch again. You may be able to find it, then watch it once again. So I think it's so convenient for Peacock to have all those wrestling videos available. I only got, well, the WWE, Vince McMahon owns a lot of
owns WCW,
wrestling
ECW
libraries now. There's WCW, I think ECW as well.
Yes.
And then they had some episodes of different shows that was on the WWE 24/7. I forgot the name of it. Was a show about a house, Legends House.
Legends House.
I caught a couple episodes of that. I found it interesting.
Well, to go off subject for a second.
Okay.
I mean, our Bruins have been eliminated from the playoffs. Celtics have been eliminated.
Celtics too. Yeah.
Celtics have a major shake-up too. Danny Ainge has stepped down as president of operations, and Brad Stevens took over, so they'll be looking for a new coach. Everyone has their opinions. I think they should think about Kendrick Perkins, ex-player. He's been mentioned on the internet as possibly coming in. They mentioned the guy from the Atlanta Hawks too, but I don't know him. But I'd like to see Kendrick Perkins maybe as the coach of the Celtics. Bring back an old player. He was well-liked, and the Bruins got eliminated. Tough series against the Islanders. And they have some, a couple of players that are indecisive what they're doing next year. I know Tuukka Rask's contract is up. He's having a back operation. He's not sure if he's going to retire or not. I'll come back for wrestling.
Did you just say come back from wrestling?
I mean, from wrestling. Go back to hockey. I hope he doesn't wrestle. Also, Krejci's contract is up. I hope they re-sign Krejci. He's a really top-notch player. He's a little bit downswing in his career, but he's a great player. They've mentioned a couple of people in the Celtics might be coming back. Walker maybe leaving. His contract is up. He's oft injured, but great player, but I don't know. It's like I don't follow them as deeply as I possibly should. Red Sox are doing great. They're in second place. They're a game out. I couldn't name 10 players on the team, but they're all different, all new people. But I guess Chris Sale's coming back, and the Red Sox just traded for a new starting pitcher. They got him from, I think it was Kansas City Royals. The only independent show, you know about the independent show coming up, I believe it's July 31st.
Over in our own socket?
Yes, over in one socket. The
New World Wrestling.
Yes.
Seen the advertisement on Facebook recently.
Yep.
No, that one's going to have Gangrel make a guest appearance,
Yes,
right?
I met Gangrel of the XWA. He was in one of their Rumbles. XWA Rumble.
I remember watching him on WWE. He was part of the Brood. Mm-hmm.
With Edge and...
Kristen. And I'm not sure. Was Luna for Sean?
No.
No. I know she was married to him, or still married to him. Didn't she pass away?
Yeah.
Yes, Luna's been dead for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, so...
I read online today's the anniversary of Sherry Martel passing 14 years ago today. We lost Sherry. Sensational Sherry.
Well, I'm a big fan of her work. I thought Sensational Sherry was not only a great wrestler, but a great manager as well, because she knew how to get involved with the matches, and she had her good talking skills. She would get really verbal.
Skills. Yep. I mean, I was mentioned before briefly about the series The Dark Side of the Ring. It's definitely a series you should look into. It's on A&E. I learned some information about Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean, his father was abusive, and I never knew Jake the Snake...
Grizzly Smith.
Yeah, I never knew that Jake the Snake Roberts' sister was Rockin' Robin.
I found that out.
I never knew that either.
I did.
I never knew that.
I did.
I found out. And his brother is Sam Houston. Mm-hmm. Sam Houston was married to Baby Doll. He used to be a valet in WCCW. So you learn a lot by watching the show, but they just had one on about Bret Hart. I'm watching that one. Watched one about Mick Foley.
You see the one with Andre the Giant?
Yeah, the Andre the Giant Treasures, I haven't watched that yet, but I do have it taped. I'm ready to go. Because I watched that pay-per-view Sunday, so I taped the Andre the Giant. Looking for WWE, looking for his treasures.
Yes.
But I also watched the documentary about Andre the Giant. That was on about, I think that was the first one I watched. It's about 3 months ago. That man could drink a case of beer in a night and no problem whatsoever, and sit down for dinner and eat 8 chickens, and loved to play cards. I know that. Pat Patterson will tell you, and so would Tim White. Played cards constantly. He also loved the kids. I mean, they say if any kid ever walked up to him, he always stopped and gave an autograph. He never ignored them or shunned them away.
Well, that's a good thing, because some wrestlers nowadays, they won't give an autograph,
Yeah, unless you pay them.
unless you pay them. Some of them are leaving their show and they don't want to stop and give an autograph. I understand that to get somewhere, but sometimes it's like heartbreaking to see them turn down people, especially kids who want an autograph. And
I understand. I mean, they're at like the WCCW. They're there for the parents, and you're going to pay for their autograph. We showed the picture last time a couple shows ago for Bushwhacker Luke that I got for Emily. I also got a picture last year with Kevin Sullivan, with Greg Valentine signed for me. I had to pay for it. We had a nice picture with the Boogeyman from Campanelli Stadium last year. Now, I don't know if they're doing that venue again this year for wrestling. That was a great show.
yeah, I wonder. Besides that,
Some things are starting, but it's really kind of wishy-washy right now.
because I wonder if I think it's usually July they have a show at McCoy Stadium.
They haven't announced that at all, so I don't think they're going
Was
to
it
have it.
Big Time Wrestling?
Big time champion, Big Papa Pump, who I met, spoke to. I have a picture with him with me, and it's on my phone.
Because they had the last show that I went to at McCoy Stadium, I think it was 2 summers ago. Last year they didn't have it because of the coronavirus.
COVID,
But they had Demolition there,
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
No, they didn't have Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
signing autographs.
He wasn't signing autographs.
Boogeyman was there that year.
Boogeyman was there that year.
Okay,
Next to
so it was the
Boogeyman
year before. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got the wrong years.
And next to Boogeyman was Big Papa Pump.
Okay.
But see, I skipped the line for Boogeyman at McCoy Stadium because I knew I was going to meet him in Brockton. So no one was talking to Scott Steiner. I walked right up to him and started talking to him.
Well, I think a lot of people are intimidated of Scott Steiner because of his size.
You wouldn't know his size because he really didn't flex. He had a
True.
coat on, and
True.
everyone was kind of in line. I think the big headline was that night wasn't it Bret Hart? The line was like down the street for Bret Hart. I said, I'm not going in line for an hour.
Yeah.
And he wanted like a lot of money. I think it was $100 for his autograph.
Wow.
That's a little too much for me. I'm sorry.
No, was it last year? I don't know if it was last year. I'm sorry. The last show that they had there 2 years ago
2019.
or the year before, then they had the Sandman there as well.
No, that was the year before. The year I
Okay,
didn't
the
go.
year before. Okay.
was actually away, I think.
So that was the same show that Hacksaw was at, signing autographs.
No, I've met
Sandman,
I've met the
Sabu.
Sandman, and I met Sabu. Sabu in matches in Rockland. I met Sandman in Lynn matches. Sandman actually came out of the ring and sat next to me.
Oh, wow.
Match in Rockland. Well, he was no drunk. I gave him my beer.
Did you give him a cigarette?
No, he just smiled at me, drank the beer down, smiled and went back in the ring.
Now, one question that I don't think I ever ask you guys, so I'll ask it now. Is there a favorite wrestling show that you attended in person? Do you have one or no?
I've been to so many, I can't pick it out one.
Okay.
I've been to over almost 6,000 matches, and
I have two of
my
them.
career, almost
One's an
40 years.
independent and one's a WWE show. First, I'll get to the independent show. It was the last show that the House of Bricks put on. That was like 5-6 hours long.
that was
One-
about 4 hours long. I know I was
The
there.
show that lasted till like midnight.
Oh, he
over
had
in
12
Fairhaven.
matches.
And so, I mean, I gotta say that was
I remember I
if
got you
not
a
the
good
best,
seat for
one
that
of
too.
the best shows that I've been to. And for a WWE show, Joey, do you remember the WWE show that we went to in Boston at the Fleet Center, where we had those seats where we were near the ramp to the
Oh yeah, that was one of the
Titantron.
Monday Night Raws.
was that Monday Night Raw
Yep.
that we attended?
Yep.
Now, the reason that's my favorite WWE show is because we had seats that was white above. We were in the front row of the
Where the ramp is.
where the rafters are. But we sat right where they had a curtain tied to the railing. Now, below that curtain was a hallway where the wrestlers would walk up to their gorilla position to get ready for their matches.
Yep.
And we were able to see the wrestlers from where we were sitting in the backstage area. And there was this one female wrestler, Lita. And Joey got so excited. It's like, you were smiling, you were like blessing, you were like dark red, you were like, look. And she you got her attention. She looked, did she wave or something?
Yeah, that was, she looked up and smiled at me.
Yeah, so.
Lita.
I remember.
Lita.
Oh, I met Lita personally.
And so
I saw her one night.
it was her that we saw. Stone Cold Steve Austin was WWE champion at the time.
He's very sometimes unapproachable. He has his time when he's moody. One of those moody wrestlers.
I remember Just Incredible was with A-Train and X-Pac.
I met all
They
three.
had that little faction going
I
on
met all
there.
three of them, actually.
Ty and Kai was there, and the funniest thing,
Oh, yeah.
they came out. I think they were going to be in a flag match or something, and one of their flags caught fire from the pyro from the Titantron, so they had to stomp on the flag and get the fire out.
Yeah, right on the stage.
A lot of the fans were clapping. But yeah, that was my favorite show because we got a good view of the wrestlers
That was
backstage.
that was like, what was it, 20 years ago?
Wow, that long ago.
2001.
Wow.
One of my favorite shows, and we only have a minute or so left on our show today. If I remember correctly, I was with Pete Doherty up in Connecticut, New York area. I think it was a dark show, it wasn't on TV, and I got to sit in the gorilla where the wrestlers come out, and I talked to every wrestler before their match.
Oh, wow.
The only person I didn't see that night was Vince McMahon. I saw Stephanie, but didn't say anything to her. Didn't have a chance to, really. She said hi to Pete, but kept walking. That was great. That's one of my favorites, because of where it was.
Now, next episode, as we got less than a minute left, next episode I was thinking about maybe we could tell some wrestling stories of some of the shows and stuff that we've been to. I think the fans will like to hear that. All right, well, I thank you guys for being on the show here with me, and I thank the director for directing us. Thank you, ACS, for airing us, and thank you, viewers, for watching us. Until next time, have yourselves a great 2 weeks. Happy Father's Day, and we'll see you next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.